A baby is a miracle and a gift. It is never easy to lose one. Some people get overwhelmed with grief and may never fully recover. Others move on and try to act like it never happened. Whatever the case, you will cherish the memory of your baby forever. Greetings and welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, please subscribe to support. In order not to miss a single one of our uploads, press the alarm bell and turn on YouTube notifications on your phone. Thank you and enjoy. Alexis claims that she went into labour and gave birth to her son when she was only 29 weeks. Her son, Walter, died in her arms. She wrote about her experience in a blog post. She added pictures of her husband and the baby. Alexis decided to share her story with her friends, family and her little town, rather than subjecting them to her misery. Since then, the story has been shared thousands of times all over the world, and it has gained widespread notice. She hopes to encourage a discussion on preterm labour and miscarriages by telling the story of her son Walter. Preterm labour and miscarriage affect more than 1 million women in the United States each year. A mother in Pennsylvania gave birth to her son and chose to document the event on her blog to create awareness amongst people. Alexis' selfless action has offered comfort to grieving women in the same situation as hers. She was 30 weeks old and 19 weeks pregnant with her third child when she had some bleeding. Even though she wasn't in any danger, she called her midwife, who advised her to go to the emergency ward of the hospital in Kokomo for a checkup. The following day, she gave birth to her son Walter, who died in her arms. The day had begun with a pedicure and lunch with a friend and bride-to-be. She was scheduled to photograph her wedding the next day. Alexis had not expected to go through this heartbreak that day. The doctor gave her 3 glasses of water to drink while she waited for an ultrasound procedure that had been arranged in the hospital's waiting area. After a few minutes, she began to feel the tingling sensation that are linked to physical discomfort. I knew I was in labour. There was no doubt in my mind, Alexis wrote in her blog, detailing her labour and delivery experience. After waiting for a few hours, she was taken to the ultrasound centre and surgery was performed on her. Alexis was very happy when the technician spotted a heartbeat. However, her bleeding had increased and her contractions had become severe. When she walked out of the room, she apologised to her husband by saying, "I'm sorry." Her husband was briefed about the situation by the technician when Alexis left the room. "I don't want to see me bawling, but I've been praying for you," said the ultrasound technician. The contractions had been too close to each other, so Alexis had no time to rest. When one worker completed, the other would join in to help. I'd come to the realisation that I'd come to the end of the road and needed help. The fact that I didn't give up hope didn't stop me from having a deep feeling that I was going to lose my child. I was surprised to learn that my fetus was still alive when the PA called me within a few minutes of waiting. I felt a strong urge to hit her across the face when she said that. To be honest, it was the first time I had ever heard anyone refer to him as a child. During this time, she broke down and asked herself if there was any other option. Walter Joshua was born on January 14, 1992 at 9:42 p.m. in the city of Los Angeles, California. The tears were streaming down my face at this moment, but he was absolutely wonderful. As I looked into his small chest, my eyes caught his beating heart, which indicated that he was fully developed and had all he needed, she said. Alexis' husband Josh walked her to her car and grabbed the camera she had planned to use to photograph her friend's wedding. Knowing that Joshua performed that deed fills my heart with joy and anticipation. In the beginning, I was adamant about not having any photographs taken, but now they are the only things I have to look back on, she said. The moment his heart began to beat, I cuddled him to my breast, counting his toes and stroking the top of his head as I held him to my heart for the first time in my life. He left a lasting impression of me, and I will cherish his memories for the rest of my life. Alexis' intention by posting the pictures was to start a conversation about preterm labour. According to her, preterm labour is preventable. Preterm labour and baby loss are not often talked about by the public. There is not much interest in the topic. They simply try again for any child and carry on with their lives. The mothers and her family are left in a heap of misery that they are not sure how to deal with, and they pretend like it never happened to them. There are many women who never get the chance to see or hold their child. They never even know if they're expecting a boy or a girl because hospital staff might remove the fetus and put it in the medical trash. Alexis received emails from women who had suffered miscarriages before. She said that her words and photographs had been therapeutic for them. The sheer number of times her photographs have been shared and commented on continues to astound me and to amaze me. Even with his brief existence for only some few minutes, he had more impact on people's lives than I could ever anticipated, she said. The influence he has had on people's lives has been far larger than I could have dreamed, she continued. The world is blessed with a huge number of newborns daily. A baby becomes famous for being the world's smallest tabby at the time of its birth. When he was born, he weighed only 221 grams, or 7.4 ounces. He was about the same weight as an apple. The baby was kept in care for more than a year before it discharged to go home. The infant, called Kwek Yu Xuan, was born 4 months premature on June 2020 in Singapore. By the time he was discharged from the hospital, he had a healthy weight of 6.3 kilograms. In a report that was issued by the hospital that treated him, they believed that he was the lightest baby ever born and he was able to go home without any complications after being born so light. His parents were extremely happy. In a registry maintained by the University of Iowa, an infant born in Germany in 2016 weighed a total of 230 grams or 8.1 ounces is listed as the world's lightest, whereas the current Guinness records for the heaviest child is an American child who weighed 241 grams or 8.6 ounces when he was born in 2018. According to a statement released by the Singapore National University and shared with a news organisation, Yu Xuan was born by an emergency caesarean section. A full-term delivery happens without 40 weeks of gestation and results in an infant weighing between 6 and 10 ounces. He spent 13 months in the hospital's critical care unit before he was discharged to go home to his family. He was dependent on different therapies and equipment to survive. According to the facility's employees, the boy was active, joyful and responsive during his stay, and they noticed that he was happy and engaged. Due to the fact Yu Xuan's extraordinary early life occurred during the COVID-19, the institution dubbed him a beacon of hope in the midst of turmoil. This little boy's story and his strength have encouraged people around the world. According to The World, despite the fact that he has had health issues from birth, they were overjoyed for the little fighter and his family. In a statement on Facebook published by the hospital, it read, "We are satisfied with the care that our staff has provided him and his family as he continues to thrive, prosper and overcome the hurdles in his life. Our best wishes for little Yu Xuan's health and well-being and with him on a daily basis." The hospital's report also states that even though he suffers from chronic lung illness and pulmonary hypertension, two disorders that are often associated with extreme prematurity, his doctors are confident that he will recover in due course. In a statement released by the little boy's parents, they said that the hospital staff should be praised for their efforts. They intended to have Yu Xuan delivered in Malaysia, where their 4-year-old resides, but the mother was admitted after she suffered from preeclampsia. According to the University of Iowa's registry, it is very rare for a child to survive after being delivered at a weight of 400 grams or 14.1 ounces. A paper published in 2016 said that despite medical advances, a child born before 28 weeks and weighing less than 1 kilogram has a 50 to 70% chance of survival, depending on the circumstances surrounding the birth. It has been a difficult journey for Xuan, and we are extremely grateful to the concerned efforts and generous supports from our colleagues, donors, as well as the larger community, who have all contributed to his survival and growth, said the senior consultant at the hospital. It was a joint effort that exemplified the attitude of caring and compassion, and it was successful. Thank you for watching this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Please like and share this video with your friends and family. See you all next time.